How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen over here with a brand new Bleach discussion, guys. And for today's segment, I'm going to be talking about Bleach chapter 683, guys. And now this chapter, folks, I personally loved it, folks, because Tite Kubo actually went back to basics, and actually we were actually witnessing this chapter in its full glory because Aizen himself was done beautifully, guys. I enjoyed Aizen being himself again, because I personally feel that Aizen really makes Bleach for what Bleach really was. Because remember, back in the Soul Society arc, we were witnessing Aizen at his top best. He was very manipulative, very cunning, he was very silent, he was a very character that was very mysterious, you know, and the way he was always showcased, he was always shown that he always had the upper hand. And again, like I said, Tite Kubo went back to basics to the Soul Society arc and shown Aizen for how he really fights. And man, when he literally outsmarted Bach himself, I was rooting for Bach. I was like, Bach, just die by Aizen. But then, you know, when we get near the end of the chapter, we actually see that Bach himself actually stabs Aizen in the chest, and we see that Aizen actually sacrifices himself in the entire fight, just so that Ichigo could come in and then stabs Bach in the chest. Kind of ironic, right? He stabs him right there in the chest, and then Ichigo gets a good tension right there, and that's where the chapter ends. I'm loving it, you know. Renji was... It's funny because Renji was used in this fight, but as an illusion, and I personally found that hilarious because of the fact that Renji is shown to be like one of those characters that, you know, has pretty good character progression in the series, but when he's fighting against a major villain, he is always thrown to the side. I'm like wondering, like, come on, Renji could do better than this. But this is not his time to shine, guys. You know, Renji, you had your fair share, but this time it's for the big boys to play, and yeah, it's Aizen, folks. I'm loving Aizen in this chapter. Ooh, freaking love Aizen, man. That was a very cool character. I feel like he was a better villain than Bach himself. Bach feels just like a over-the-top tier person, you know. But Tite Kubo was actually showcased that Bach is actually fearful of Aizen. That's the one person he actually fears the best. Because when we saw this chapter, we actually clearly saw that Bach was then kind of... He was being overconfident in himself, saying like he was actually telling Aizen that, you know, oh, you know, I actually even broke your sword, so now you can't do nothing against it. Like, and then Sasuke Aizen, right when he because the thing is, Sasuke Aizen kind of let himself get attacked in order for Ichigo to deliver a final blow. But see, that's what I'm thinking. Like, man, that's how strong Aizen is, that he has to let himself get caught in order for him to actually, I would say, take the win, you could kind of say. Because of the fact that he has to clearly downplay himself in order for Bach to feel that he's actually winning. And I kind of found that hilarious because Bach himself was clearly focusing on Aizen. And that shows that Aizen himself is a very enemy that's very that you have to be very on the lookout for, because of the fact that I could see that Bach is actually clearly looking at Ichigo as like, okay, you're a tiny ant, you know. I could just literally destroy your bank at any time. But Aizen himself is the one. He's like, okay, I need to focus all my attention on you. And Aizen himself kind of clearly saw that, and he's, you know what? Let me just take my advantage. And it clearly shows that basically the minute Bach then enters Soul Society, he was already trapped in the illusion then, because remember, Ichigo stabs freaking Bach at the end, so that clearly says that Aizen will literally... Oh man, Aizen's freaking smart, I swear to God. Like I said, it's just freaking Aizen, man. Motherfucking Aizen. He's bringing down the house on freaking Bach himself. I'm just hoping that Aizen is able to recuperate after losing his arm in this chapter, because he can't use the Hokyoku, if I'm assuming correctly, because of all the gear that's kind of strapped on to him thanks to Mario. But I'm hoping the next chapter kind of shows, because maybe he could still use it to some advantage. Something, you know. Let's just hope that he's not that injured. But it's kind of funny how the dialogue in the chapter was shown that even at the brink of being stabbed, Aizen still clearly shows his condescending attitude to Bach, clearly saying that, you know, he's still winning regardless of what situation he's in. And that's what I love about Aizen is that calm demeanor that he always gives off, and that condescending attitude towards his enemies. No matter if it's a friend, foe, it does not matter. Aizen clearly knows he's the best of the best, and and he's clearly showcasing that in every panel that he's being showcased right there. But like I said, folks, this chapter was very entertaining itself. And I'm wondering also, will Aizen go Bankai too? Because, you know, Aizen is a very manipulative person, so we don't know if Aizen's actual sword really did break. If that scene was also an illusion in itself. We don't know that yet, but remember, there's still room for Tirakubo to kind of throw us in the next couple of chapters, as to say, if Aizen will go Bankai, just in case. Because remember, freaking Bach hasn't gone in his full, like I would say, in his final form yet. You kind of say. So maybe the next chapter is gonna go in his final form and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna play around. I need to get rid of you guys. So maybe then in the next chapter that we might actually get to see Aizen use his Bankai or showcase a little bit more. And I'm loving the fact that they actually brought Kido into this, because Aizen was the only one that actually used Kido in this fight, even if it was an illusion. But while using the Kido, he clearly showed again, he shows how strong he is. It's like Kido number 99, like holy snap, and does it like in an instant. If I remember correctly, when they're using all these spells, they have to like say some sort of enchantment in order to bring that spell to come up. And freaking Aizen himself just brought out with his immense Ryutsu. Holy snap, you know. Freaking Aizen, man. Freaking loving this character. But like I said, since Tirakubo went back to basics, he's actually showcasing Aizen very well in this chapter. And in the next chapter, I'm hoping that Aizen is still in the fight. And also, Renji himself, he hasn't, I would say he's down for the count in this chapter. It's just that he's just being shrugged off as a side character. And also the deal with Chad, we don't know where Chad, we do know what Chad is doing, but we don't know if his fight is done, if he's going to enter this fight. Because remember, Fullbrings seem to also be very powerful in this fight. And I'm kind of hoping that their Fullbrings are still being showcased in this fight. I'm hoping Chad actually comes into this fight as well. Because Chad is shown to be a pretty powerful Fullbringer as well. It's just that they don't have enough time for any panels to showcase how strong he is. And clearly Tirakubo, I feel like in the earlier part of the series, you clearly see that Tirakubo wants to use Chad or give him a little more development in the story itself, because you could clearly tell that Chad is a very powerful person. And also again with Uryu himself, he probably might join in the fight, because maybe Bach might come up with some kind of new plan in order to take these two characters down. By that I mean Sasuke Aizen and Ichigo. So Uryu has to come in and use that little arrowhead that he got from Yukin. Like I said, there's still room for speculation. So we clearly know that Aizen is not. He's going to be taken down. Or Ichigo. One of these two. I know they're going to be taken down because I'm pretty sure that freaking Tirakubo is going to use Uryu. But I'm loving the tease of this chapter, you know, like they're either showcasing this fight. Now imagine if this fight was animated. This fight would be pretty epic when they're showing Aizen himself in the illusionary. It would be a very... You could clearly tell this would probably take at least like 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes of the fight. But, like I said, folks, loving this chapter. But that's it for this segment, folks. You know, I very much enjoyed the chapter, like I said, for the 50th time. But like I said, let me know down in the comment section, guys. What do you guys think about the chapter? What do you guys think is going to happen in the next chapter as well? I personally think Udi's going to come in the next chapter, or maybe Aizen himself is actually going to tell Ichigo, you know, we have to come up with a new plan, because clearly, I personally think that Ichigo should have actually done a little bit better than just Getsuga Tensho. He should have used at least some of his hollow powers, or something, you know. At least something other than Getsuga Tensho. But it still gave off that very adrenaline rush that we used to get back in Soul Society. Because I'm clearly loving that, like, Tirakubo went back to basics. But like I said, folks, you know, let me know what you guys think about the chapter in the comments below. But if you guys enjoy my content, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.